Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. It's Nancy, the nurse practitioner here from Caregiver Success. Haven't seen you guys in a while, but I'm wearing my Valentine's stuff. It's Valentine's Day. I said happy Thanksgiving here to Brett, and I'm like, what the heck? I love turkey, but I
Holiday.
love chocolates. Holidays. So for everybody here, I met Brett on my Facebook page. He was looking for a .com and he was looking at mine, Caregiver Success. I'm not sure what you picked or what you're doing with that, but we met after that and we formed a nice relationship, helping people and caregivers. And he has his own story.
Uh-huh.
He's got lots of stories regarding his journey through life at a young age of whatever you are, like 30s.
39, I'll be 40.
Yeah, so you're young and you've already lived a lifetime.
Yeah. So I served in the Air Force for 8 years on active duty. I'm originally from Michigan, and right after high school, I enlisted in the Air Force and got shipped out to Spokane, Washington, where I
Mhm.
served for all 8 years out at Fairchild. And for 6 years, I was an aircraft mechanic working on the KC-135,
Wow.
maintaining the avionic systems. And then for 2 years after that, I cross-trained into personnel. So then I was maintaining the passport office, and I got to the rank of E5 staff sergeant. So I was leading airmen. So Air Force taught me
Cool.
a lot about leadership, and I can pick out the good ones and also the bad ones. And I've seen a lot of bad leaders, especially in my career in military and post-military.
Mhm.
So yeah, I had a chat with one of my mentors recently, and he suggested that I start the domain caregiversuccess.com. And I was like, oh, so I looked it up and it was taken. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So then
How do you come up with that
um
one? That's so funny. It's serendipitous.
yeah, just being ambitious as I am, I went on Facebook. I was like, okay, who is this person? I have to know. So then we connected, and you wrote a book, and I got your book, which is it's really amazing.
Oh,
A
thank
lot of good
you.
information in it, so I recommend that definitely to your followers. So go get that book if you haven't.
Do you have it
Um,
right there to
I,
hold
I have
up?
it here. It's actually in the other room. I should have brought it with
It's
me,
so
but
funny. I went looking for it too, but I don't have it with me either. I'll run and get it when we're done or something. Well, whatever. But this is all about you, Brett, right now.
yeah.
So thank you for that.
So something else about me is the reason why I want to do the domain for caregiver success is because I am a caregiver.
You
Um,
tell us more about that because I mean we all are caregivers, by the way. I mean, you take care of your two kids. You've
three,
got your
uh,
in-laws that if they needed you, you'd be there. You
yeah,
have your wife. But so we're all caregivers, we have pets.
mm,
But you have a very interesting story. When you shared that with me, my heart dropped. But I also thought, hey, this is a lot of people's lives, not just
uh,
you.
yeah, I
And
wear
so tell us all about it, Brett. Go
I
ahead.
wear many hats.
You wear
So
many hats, yeah.
so
Mm.
about almost 6 years ago, so on June 10th, 2017, that's like our demarcation line. So there
Yeah.
was life before that day and then after, and none of it is the same.
Yes.
Everything is different. My wife had a massive hemorrhagic stroke,
Mm.
uh, TIA, and a seizure. So those three different episodes right at the same time. I was actually at work when it had happened.
Mhm.
Our three boys then were 9, 5, and 2, and Connor, my oldest, he called 911 and he saved your life. And it's really neat because my wife had instructed him years ago, prior to the stroke. This is how you dial 911 if you need to in case of an emergency. So her teaching actually saved her. And actually, we were in Proverbs today. I was in a men's study this morning, and we were talking about wisdom and about
Mhm.
children. Listen to the teaching of your mother.
Huh.
And it's really neat. I just thought about that right now, that because of Connor listened to his teaching from Michele is still here. So that's pretty neat concept, I think. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, she was rushed to the hospital. I was at work. Connor, I'm an X-ray tech, and I was working at the VA at the time, and
Mhm.
I felt my phone ringing in my back pocket over and over again. And usually when it rings, more than once, so close together, there's something I need to address at home, even
Mhm.
though I didn't know who it was. I just felt the urgency.
Mhm.
And after I was done with the patient, I called Connor and he's like, Dad, you need to leave work immediately. Mom is not okay.
Mhm.
And yeah, while we were talking on the phone, the paramedics were getting her prepped to take her to a hospital in Portland. And she was intubated on her bed. And it turned out that she has a disease that she was born with called Moya disease. It's a rare congenital neurovascular disease. So congenital means she was born with it, but we didn't know that she had it. We only found out after tests were done after the stroke to confirm. People had their suspicions about what had happened, but we were
Mhm.
able to confirm that afterwards, and it was Moya. And she actually had to have the right side of her skull taken off, stored in a bone bag, put it in a freezer. The swelling was so bad from the bleed. They actually on the way into the operating room, they had to drill a hole into her skull and they had to suck out 75 milliliters of blood. And in the end, there was about 200 milliliters of blood that was pulled on the right side of her brain that they had to extract. And they had to remove most of the temporal lobe on the right side and part of the frontal lobe. So
Boy,
we
how
were,
did she survive that? It's
yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing.
And that she's alert and
Yeah,
can speak.
yeah, yeah,
That's a pretty cool, I mean, that's a blessing in itself if she's
sure.
being here. Go ahead. Sorry.
And we were told that, the next, she may not make it, the next 24, 48 hours were critical.
Yeah.
And the word over and over that was told to me about how bad the situation was grim. Her outlook is grim. Her survival is grim. That just always stuck out for me. And then she made it, the next couple of days, and then I made that post yesterday. I was thinking about, the small things of life. Like to us, the small things was when she responded to the doctor's cues. Lift two fingers. Squeeze my hand. Like those were the small things that we come to appreciate.
Hmm.
So she had 6 months in the hospital, then came home, and then all of our world changed. I gained another hat as caregiver,
Mhm.
and she was also, I forgot to say, she was also pregnant at the time of the stroke. We were 6 weeks pregnant, and we were told by all of the doctors that if we kept the baby, there was a high chance that she would have another stroke, because of Moya disease and her history of stroke already, that she might die. And after conferring with a bunch of people in my church and family, um, yeah, we opted for the sanctity of my wife's life, and we opted to terminate the pregnancy. So that was the one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make, was sign my name, my signature on a piece of paper. So actually, I talk about that in detail in a book that I wrote. So we're going to be publishing that. Lord willing, we publishing that in June. It's in the hands of the editor right now. I go over like the first year, what it was like for us post stroke.
What's the name of the book?
Um, a name that I'm settling on is Hope Undeferred.
Hmm.
So, because in the Bible, in Proverbs, it talks about hope deferred makes the heart grow sick. So the point that I wanted to make in this book is that, even while it seems like you're stuck in the tunnel and it doesn't seem like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, there is. You can still find hope no matter how bad the situation is. There's always hope.
Yes.
So you don't have to wait for things to get better before you have hope. That would be hope deferred. So hope undeferred, meaning you have hope now, no matter how bad it is.
Yeah. And you're living in the now, you're living in the present. You
Yeah,
can't think
it
of,
is.
you can't think of the past. We can't look forward. We have to
Yeah,
like, where are we right now? And hope anchors the soul, which is another really
mhm,
good one. And hope is God,
yeah,
Jesus, you know,
exactly. God,
so he
he is
anchors.
the hope, he is our rock. He's the reason why we, been able to do everything that we have. Um,
That's
have
so
done.
cool.
And he's also, I feel like, with everything that happened now, like there are a lot of people that I can connect with now. I can connect with those caregivers who are tired because guess what? It's me. I can connect with people who have lost babies because we've lost two. So prior to that, in 2009, Michele was 20 weeks pregnant with Jacob,
Uh,
and Jacob's heart stopped, and Michele
right.
had to deliver him in the
Oh, wow.
hospital, epidural, the whole nine.
Oh my gosh.
Um, so
So
you didn't want
that was
that.
another piece of your life that
Another
you,
layer.
and the
Uh,
other layer that you
mhm.
just mentioned to me before we came on, if it's time to talk about it,
Yeah.
it's about, our own ability to cope. And hey, a lot of us have had these. Okay, so tell us about this mental change or breakdown that you had, or
Oh my gosh, thank you for
change
bringing that
in
up.
mental feelings.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
and when did that happen?
it was shortly, um, it was within the first couple weeks of the stroke. So Michele was still at one hospital in Portland, and I had a complete breakdown. It just seemed like my life was totally just filleted open. Like, um, admittedly, before the stroke, Michele did too much, and she always told me that she felt like that she has way too much on her plate. I don't know how many viewers, how many wives especially can relate to that, but that was us. Michele did too much. So when that happened, now everything, I just felt it. It was all on me. And I remember I
Wow.
was home. I wanted to try to have some sense of normalcy at home. So I took a break from the hospital that came home with our three boys who were 9, 5, and 2. And Easton, who was our middle son, he was asking me all these questions about things, and I was done. So I snapped. I yelled at him, and then after that, I just collapsed. I just collapsed on the knees and started to cry.
Mhm.
And Easton actually came up to me and he was like, "Dad, it's okay." For him to have that emotional maturity to say, just to not, retaliate. He was like, "Dad, it's okay."
Mhm.
And then there was a time where I made a decision that I was going to show up the best for my wife and kids.
Mhm.
And yes, there are days where I'm not showing up as my best self, but I'm not perfect. But the
Mhm.
point is, every day is a new day. So I try to put everything behind me and move forward. And with God's grace, I can.
That's
And
so true. I want to bring up something else because I know you have this very great community that you found through your church and the other men. And a lot of men don't like to do that. You like the retreats and stuff like that.
yeah,
They just sort of, women will connect, but men don't always do that as well. So hooray for you. But because of that connection, tell me about the how the church came in and helped you build
uh,
your home and your apartment and what happened after that,
I'm
because
actually
tell me about that.
I'm sitting in the addition that the church built.
It's
So it's
beautiful.
a 300 plus square foot addition. It was
Amazing.
meant to provide housing for my in-laws. They stay here while I'm at work to take care of Michele and the kids.
Hmm.
And we were looking for housing for them. We couldn't find any. It was being in Portland, the area, it's pretty pricey.
Hmm.
And so they just came together and it was amazing. There was one guy that reached out to me and he said, my wife and I are prepared to help you. And I'm like, I had no idea what that meant. Actually, that was the result of a post that I had made on Facebook about, I can't remember the verse, but where it talks about he is able to provide abundantly more than we could ever ask or imagine. And maybe we can put that first in the comments. But and then he saw that and he reached out to me the very next day and he said, my wife and I are prepared to help you. And I had no idea what that meant. And he said, do we have permission to step in to help try to find some housing situations? I'm like, sure, yes. Just at that time, I learned to surrender my pride because how we are so stuck on not wanting other people to help us.
Yeah.
But what was actually told to me a while ago before that was that by me not letting people help me, that I'm robbing their crowns from them.
That's so
So
true.
I'm not, because they
Wow.
actually get joy from helping me, from helping others. But a lot of people look at it the opposite way. Like, no, I can do it. I can handle it on my own.
Yeah.
But it's a team sport, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
So,
So this is the
and
apartment, right? Right here behind you.
yeah, this is the, yeah, it's actually, it's addition attached to our main house, but
Okay.
it acts as an apartment. I mean, it's self-sufficient. There's besides a washer and dryer, has everything else. They did a brand new bathroom.
Hmm.
Um, it's a mother-in-law suite. So there's a refrigerator, microwaves, little back there. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
And what happened to your in-laws? Because that changed their lives forever too. What happened without
they
their
sold their house
situation?
in Spokane, which is where they lived, and
Hmm.
now they live on the Washington coast. So they commute um to our house, which is about a 2 hour drive on Wednesday night, because then on Thursday I get ready for work, and then on um Saturday night, Sunday morning, then they'll head back for their weekend.
So you
So
work as a tech the 3 days to
I work as
consolidate your
it's
work week, and
yeah,
then they're there for the kids and your wife, and then they go back home to have a little bit of their time.
installed because she was told that she can never swallow again because of the stroke. But on November 2nd, 2017, I witnessed them pull that thing right out of her stomach. And so, and being an X-ray tech, prior to that, she wanted me to come to her barium swallow study. And as soon as she took that first swallow, I was like, yes, I knew it. It was going down
Yeah.
the right way and there was no aspiration.
Oh, thank
So praise God for that.
God. Yeah.
Doctors don't really know. I trust doctors. I respect them, but their scope is limited. They don't know the great physician. They may not. They may not. They might also. So
Hey, everything's a learning experience, and every patient, every time of their lives is different. Everybody has to be open-minded, you know. Not everything is grim.
right.
So, now that we're here together, I know there's more to your story. There are things that, I know you are concerned about caregiver burnout, and that was
Yes,
one more
for
thing we
sure.
should bring up.
Yeah,
It's so real, right? I mean,
yeah.
what do you do for fun? How do you get your time out? What do you do?
Well, I like playing basketball with the kids.
Okay. You
I
work
like,
out too, right?
yeah, I do. I do work out. I've actually been seeing a personal trainer.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's actually he goes to my church in my men's Bible study. He's a personal trainer, so him and I have been connecting,
That's
and
really good.
I feel really good. And at the beginning of the year, I just felt this urge to take better care of myself, because since everybody relies so much on me, and if I don't put the time and effort into myself, I mean, I'm not showing up the best I can for them. So
I
and
always use the analogy, the oxygen mask on the plane.
that,
And they say, and it's I'm sitting on the plane and like, put your mask on first. I'm like, but look at the old lady next to me. And I'm like, but if I can't breathe, how am I supposed to help her? Because I'm already passed out. And I'm like, it was like an aha moment. How many times have I been on a plane and they tell you to do that? Put it on
it's
you
funny
first.
that you said that, because while I was waiting for Michelle to be done with her surgery the night of the stroke, that is the analogy that I've heard over and over again.
And
You know,
it's so, so true. So, you think you're maybe you think you're a little selfish because you get a facial, or you get out of the house, you get your nails done, or whatever it is to like make you break
I don't have
away.
that problem, but
You don't have your nails done. But no, but anything that makes you
I
like
hear
break
you. Yeah,
away.
it's
But look
very.
what you have for a guy. You have guy friends, you
Mhm.
have your church,
I have
you
a
have
lot of
your Bible
connections.
study,
Yeah.
you have your full gym, you
Hmm.
know, and we can all see the aura on you. We could tell that you are a wonderful man who God knows he doesn't give us anything that we can't handle. Unfortunately, we think that is not true, but he gives us only what we can handle, and that is something that we need to remember.
Hmm.
My sister just lost her daughter, and I'm actually flying down to see her
Oh.
next week. She died from addiction and she was 33.
Mm,
And she's very faithful, and
mm.
she's never said, God, why? She never has said that.
Yeah.
Uh and just so these people that can actually bring that into their lives and have these tragedies,
Hmm.
but actually feel spiritually connected, that they have that strength to go on, is a wonderful thing. So it's so important to have prayer, I believe. But so in other ways of helping caregivers, Brett, what are your thoughts about that? Because it is hard to be a caregiver. A lot of caregivers can't work. They
Yeah.
need to stay home because they got to take care of the person, or they have
Yeah.
to pay for an aid, and that's not cheap.
Yeah.
Or there's so many
Exactly.
problems with that. So tell us all about what your thoughts on that.
So if you're not a caregiver now, I mean, you said that earlier that we're all caregivers in some way, but if you're not actually physically caregiving for somebody else now, you might in the future. And there is a huge financial shock when it comes to caregiving. I did a little bit of research. I'm trying to find what I did, but just to have an in-home caregiver, if you're not able to take care of your loved one, it's $25 to $35 per hour. Memory care is like $5,000 per month and up. Nursing homes can be about $10,000 plus per
Right.
month. And I am a mobile X-ray tech, so I go into all of these adult living facilities. I've seen the really good ones, and I've also seen the bad ones. So
Yeah.
you get what you pay for, right? If you want your loved one to be able to be in a good place where they have good care, you're
Mhm.
gonna pay for it.
Yep.
But how are people gonna do that? There's a statistic that I think about. More than 50% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And with the recession, it's only going to increase.
Yep.
And the majority of people, they have maybe $500 or less in their savings account. So when an emergency happens, how are they going to afford it? Medicare and Medicaid may be there for some, but they're not going to cover all of it.
Right.
So that's why one thing that I looked into and I did for myself, because I knew that I was going to have other expenses, because Michele has physical therapy. She goes to a private gym once a week. Actually, today we're leaving. I'll be getting her ready for that soon. But how are people going to do it if they're at home caregiving, they can't get another job because of their responsibilities at home, but they can't afford outside help and they're tired? How are they going to do it?
Hmm.
I found a way to make money on your phone. Everyone is on social media.
Hmm.
What they're realizing is that they're not using their profiles as a way to leverage their time so that they can make an income. And I gotta tell you, I'm super excited about um what I'm doing and what my company is doing right now with the tradition, with a direction that we're heading. And yeah, that's one way that I want to help caregivers. I want to help caregivers afford outside help while leveraging their social media.
Okay.
Just a few ways that you can do that. You can, since we're all on social media all the time, start having a little tweak of your mindset, and yes, you still use Facebook to connect with people, but if you just have a little bit of a tweak, and just say how can I help somebody? So we all go through have gone through things that we have overcome, right? So one thing that I'm doing right now is I'm helping the person that I used to be. I used to be, that caregiver without direction, just, overwhelmed and but now I'm able to focus on efforts to, okay, this is something that I am overcoming. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm heading that way. I have a direction, I have a path, I have a vehicle that I know will give me the more time that I'm looking for, that will, help provide for, my wife. And who knows, if something were to happen to me, yeah, my family, we would not be okay
We're not thinking about.
unless I do something about it now, right? Which I'm working on. So,
Okay, so tell us. We're
mhm.
waiting.
Okay. So I'm with a company called Modere.
Oh
So
dear, spell it.
Modere.
Okay,
And we are launching this amazing product called, right now it's called Project 23,
okay.
because it's really, there's patents pending on it. It's not out yet. You can't buy it yet. So they're trying to keep the proprietary formula and everything. But it's a women's health product. It's something that is not on the market. It's the first of its kind. And
Okay.
this is uncomfortable for a guy to talk about, but what it does is it's meant to support women through their cycle, through all phases, whether if it's before menopause, if they're on their menstrual cycle, if it's post menopause. So we have is the hashtag every woman. So we can write that later. Hashtag every woman is a movement. So not only is Modere starting this product, but they're creating a movement around it. They're creating a movement where no longer their dream is for women to be uncomfortable talking about, that time of the month, right? So,
So, I know we only have like 9 minutes left, so
okay.
I want to make sure we get this all in. We know how to spell Modere, and I'm going to share this all with everybody so that if you're looking for extra income, this is something we could talk, and I can also give you connections to Brett so that I can give him email, maybe Facebook.
Yeah, connect me on Facebook. That's the best way. And
Okay, so we'll
my
put
link,
that in the end.
yeah,
Yeah. Actually, you could even
right now
tell
that's the
them.
best way to contact me.
You want to do that now, or you want to finish telling more so we get people excited about what you're doing? Because Modere has more than that product, correct?
We have liquid collagen. We
Okay.
have, so I don't, there's a lot of collagen markets. I don't know, we can talk about the differences,
Yeah.
but if you're interested in to hear the formula that we're using,
Mm-hmm.
send me a message on Facebook, and then we can go in depth about why powder collagen isn't that good. Anyway, we can go there.
And
We can go there later. But
this is
another
liquid.
product that I want to offer is actually the business. It's the way
Mm.
to earn more money for people so that they can afford other things, so they can afford outside help from either an in-home caregiver, or maybe, their aging parent needs to go to a place that Medicare not going to pay for. Maybe they wanted a little bit better of a living situation for them. This is a way where, when set up a business, so you have residual income coming in. So there's a difference between earned income and residual income. So earned income is you go to work, you get paid. You go to work, you get paid. You don't go to work, you don't get paid,
Right.
right? But residual income is you do the work, you get paid over and over and over. Like, I have some customers that they're loyal to me. They've been ordering for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of the lifetime value of the customer, so not only are you getting compensated for that, but you know that you're helping them with their physical maybe they have some discomfort in their knees that the collagen is helping with, or maybe, they want to lose weight and your customers are getting results.
This sounds like a self-care idea too, because a lot of women take care of other people. It seems more women than men. I'm just saying, this is the oxygen mask again. It's
Right.
like, what are you doing that makes you feel better?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how do you feel better? Like I mentioned about getting your nails done. Well, hey, why aren't we why are we taking care of our skin or collagen, or what are we doing about our hair? What's bugging us that we'd like to feel better about ourselves so we can still be a great caregiver
Right.
and a sexy one? No.
Yeah,
I'm kidding, but I'm just
that's
saying,
how,
feel good about yourself,
yeah, feel good about
and
yourself.
make some money and make some money doing it.
Exactly. When you do take care of yourself better, you're more is more capable of caring for others.
And
So,
also you're helping other people. There's
right,
that whole thing you're talking about. The caregiver needs to help the other caregiver and all that, and whatever vehicle we could find out there to do that. So
exactly.
we're running out of time. We have like 4 minutes left. Brett, how do we reach you for more information on Modere?
Yeah. So just hit me up on Facebook and send me a message.
Um,
Send me
what's
a
your
friend request, and then send me a message. I get a lot of friend requests because of what I'm doing. I get a lot of people. They're trying to bring me into their fold too because they see
got
what
it.
I'm doing on social media and they like it. They want.
Are you on Instagram? Are you on other
I'm
places?
on Facebook. I'm on Instagram.
Okay, so you can
Actually,
do
I just started a
Facebook,
Twitter account. I'm on Twitter, TikTok.
Twitter.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so they can
all
find you by
all
your name.
Brett
If they
Brezewski.
find, I'm sorry, Brett, I want to get this in. Do you put it in your name, your full
Yeah,
name?
Brett. Put my name, Brett Brezewski. Find me on Facebook.
Okay.
I think the link to Facebook is um Brett.Brezewski.1. I think so. Facebook.com/Brett.Brezewski.1. I think that is. So I think
Okay.
I
Can they
Facebook.
email you if they want to reach you?
Yeah, they can email me.
What's your email?
brezewski@gmail.com. But I gotta say, Facebook will be the best way to get a hold of me because my email is just it's crazy right now.
Too long. Too long. Too long. And did you get a .com? What's your .com for your book?
Yeah, that's in the works.
Okay, so that's another video, everyone. We'll do another video with Brett when this book comes out, because I think we need to meet Brett again and on all sorts of phases of his going here, because he's now my new good friend here on our journey as
Oh,
you
amazing how
know
we connected.
it would be really, really wonderful. And look up Modere, look up the product, of the actual company, Modere, just so you can see what you're about to talk to Brett about. Because if you're looking for, and I have been involved in companies like this, and I have seen residual income from 15 years of being on them, and you kind of stop and things keeps going on the background.
Right.
So you got to find something you like, and this could be a great product for you guys to sell and get involved for other caregivers
Oh,
to be successful.
yeah.
Right? Is there anything else you'd like to tell everybody, Brett, before we sign off?
I just want to close that. Um, there are a lot of things that are, could be second our attention, in this life with that seem to be making you not have hope. And I want to go back to that issue about hope. I don't know what your viewers are going through, but if they're following your channel, then I have to think that there's some part about what that they may be going through that is causing them to be glum, to not feel like there's like any point, like they're stuck in the rat race. And yeah, I want to help people get out of that. I want to help people, when they start following me, I can give them not only a product with some things that you can sell, and to get some money, but it's also a mentorship. You
Yeah.
be mentored by me, and you get the community of my team.
Well, that sounds wonderful, Brett. I'm so glad I got to meet you, and we're just starting here, and maybe soon I'll meet Michele as well. And God bless and take care. And to everybody out there from Caregiver Success, check out my YouTube channel. And hey, I got that book, Caregiver Success, on caregiversuccess.com. Sorry, Brett.
Got it.
And we're looking forward to seeing your book. Undeferred.
Hope
Hope
deferred.
Undeferred. Wonderful. All right, take care, everyone. See you soon with the next video. Happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy your day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.